Hi, this is Eitan. Today I'm going to make a review on the CGRB Crag. CGRB is what's called a budget line of artisan cutlery, which is a Chinese manufacturer, similar to the CVV line that we knives have. I'm going to focus on the liner lock version and not that other lock version, but I'll talk about it later. Let's go into the specs. So we have over here a total length of 20.5 centimeters, which is around 8.1 something inches, 812 or something like that. Blade length is around 9 centimeters, which is 3.5 inches. The cutting length is around 8 centimeters, tiny bit less, which is around 3.15. The blade thickness is 0.12, as said in the brochure or the website, inches, which is a bit more than, the thickest part, a bit more than 3 millimeters. It weighs around 4.8 ounces, 4.9, which is around 140 grams. The blade steel is D2, the shape is cleaver. It is a flipper with ball bearings. We have over here a liner lock, G10 on both sides, and stainless steel liners, deep pocket carry clip, which you can put on the other side. So let's go into the pros and cons of this nice model. So let's go on the pros. Well, the blade geometry is very nice. I carried this knife. It took time till I did this review, I must say, because I wanted to go into to really know this model. I gotta say that before I start, this knife grow on me. I really like it, so take it under consideration. I'm probably personally biased because I like this model. So the geometry is very good. I use it to cut a lot of stuff. Cardboard cut, no problem. The D2 over here seems to have a very good heat treat, because it maintains its edge very well. I used green compound to strop it back, didn't had to sharpen it yet, and it cut a lot of cardboard, okay, food prep and stuff like that, bit ropes, and forgot how you call those. I'll bring it, just a second. I remember. Zip ties, thick zip ties. Okay, so the blade geometry is very nice. The heat treat seam on this one very good. The detent and the action is excellent. The flipper action here, I like it a lot. I think they nailed it on this one, and I've seen expensive knives that have not as good detent. Maybe just the model that I bought, but I really like it. It reminds me much expensive knife that I used to play with, and it's open really nice, and it stays. The lockup is very nice. The fit and finish is very good, and I'll tell you why. Look, it's not the best fit and finish I ever saw. I mean, everything seemed on point. If you look into the smaller details that you might see over here, okay, so they didn't chamfer it till the end, or it's not, you know, polished like the corners here, you know, like a high-end, super high-end knife. But everything else, look, if you take the general or you take the rough specs, okay, the handles are chamfered. Everything is on point, no blade play, everything is centered. The pocket clip is fine, is polished, the screws is on point. Everything is, they even did here this sort of chamfering that, unlike other folders, that they have this sort of ridges over here, just stereo fingers over here. It's very smooth and it's very nice. The liner is not that strong. I mean, I can close and open it a lot with no problem whatsoever. So the fit and finish is also a very good advantage of this model. The action is great. So, and we'll go to the biggest advantage over here is the price. Those knives cost around $35 US before tax or before shipping to other countries, but $35 US for this one, okay? I'll go into the conclusion later. Let's talk about what is disadvantage or something like that. Well, as a disadvantage for a $35 knife that came with this fit and finish is hard to find, because the fit and finish is nice and the design is nice and the geometry is good and the heat treat is good. So we have over here things that are more personal. If you like it or don't like it. Not everyone like cleaver style knives. Not everyone like the design or the color scheme. So I know some people might be bothered from this flipper tab. It might, or some people might say it's the weight. For me, none of those are issues, so I don't find too much disadvantage beside of the, you know, personal stuff, if I like it or don't like the design. I want to touch another design. They put here some sort of a exterior axis lock like Benchmade had. Instead of putting it inside, they put it outside. Now, if you get used to it, it's nice, but well, I didn't fall for it. I don't like this one so much, this lock. Some people really like to play with it. So if I go into the disadvantage, maybe it's the execution of this lock, because you need to break in and it's not always that smooth. Some people like this pattern, I less. So let's go. I forgot. Let's make a size comparison just before we go into the conclusion. Okay, so this is the CGRB Crag near a small knife called Strider SMF, and let's take it into put it near the Kershaw blower. So as you see, the CGRB is a similar size of the Kershaw blower, a bit bigger because the put it over here and you have better proportion. Let's place it near another small knife, the Benchmade Contigo. As you see, the CGRB is not, it's a medium knife. Let's put it near Buck 110, which I like always to place. The Buck 110, when you see it for itself, it seems a very big knife, but when you compare it to other knives today, you see it's not that big. I mean, it's medium size, and of course paramilitary 2. As you see, it's a similar size of the paramilitary 2. We have over here Leatherman Juice S2 is go inside. They pair because of the color scheme. Nice. So let's go into the final conclusion, and I relate only the liner lock version. I don't relate this the new lock system. Okay, so this is a very successful model, and I think it marks, it's one of those knives that you can easily recommend to non-knife people or any other person as a great purchase. Because in $40 US, I mean include tax, or 50 if you order in international, or 55, you'll get a very good knife with a decent steel. D2 is a decent steel, don't be mistaken. If you work with it enough and you work a lot and you use tools and stuff like that, it does the job. It can cut carpets, it can cut ropes or stuff like that if you need, or zip ties. You know, it's a nice companion to your work. It's a nice companion as an EDC knife. It has a great geometry. It can cut food very nice. It's not too aggressive. It looks a bit, you know, with this cleaver sheepfooty look. Some people might find it intimidating because of the culture today, you know, cleaver, butcher, murder, stuff like that. But this is not the case. This is a well executed, designed product. It's worth its money. I think it's better than other 60, 70, even $100 knives. I don't want to make names, but I think it's outperformed them in the execution of making this knife and working with it. And it is a knife that I highly recommend to people to buy. If you'll see more and more knives that come in this price point and in this fit and finish, other manufacturers will have to find an answer to it, because if you made a bit more, I don't know, smooth this or polish this part and place S30V, well, that's some people could swear by it, and I put another logo, and people say, wow, it's a $150 knife. This knife shows that in a small budget you can get a very good functioning tool. And as I said before, I highly recommend to each one of you to try this knife or try this model. You don't like it, pass it on. You want to recommend to a friend that is new to the knife world, or give a gift to someone, this is a good knife. Now those knives I paid full price. I'm not working for any other. I buy my knives for my own money, try to sell them later to buy others. Okay, I don't have any Patreon or something like that, so I'm not biased here, but you know, I don't have any foreign or just say interest in this video. Okay, so great success. Go get one, try one. Hope you enjoyed this review. Bye bye.